Well, welcome to another vlog, guys. We are back at the Woolpack Lakes 7. Have a look out there. And we've unloaded the gear, we pushed the barra. Here's the old barra down there. Pushed that around, and now we're just going to have a look. We're going to go and dump it in one of the swims, as we normally do, then do a couple of laps, see what the lake's doing, who's on, anything's been out, because this is the first time that we've been down since I opened it up. They only opened it up again this weekend. This is the Monday, they opened it up Friday, so there's been a couple of people on. Well, it's been quite busy. They stopped it for spawning, closed all the lakes for a month. Really good management, and now we're all rocking and ready to go. So we're down for our first trip, see if we can continue where we left off with that nice little common, well, not little, but nice upper 20 common that we had to open up our account, and hopefully we can catch a few more. So I was gagging to get back, and then they closed it, so it's just one of them things. But looking at it out there, looking absolutely. Let's have a look. Let's have a little look down there. Let's have a little look down. Let's have a look. Look at this. Whew. Yeah, there's hardly one here Monday morning. Look at that out there. Look how beautiful that is. Looking really, really nice. All the weed. Look at the weed that's come up. Look at all that weed that's come up in the last month. There was no weed right the way down the middle of the lake, but now it's full of bloody weed. So I think finding spots is going to be a little bit difficult. Right, let's go and dump the barra in a swim. Let's go have a look round. Guys, welcome to the vlog. Okay, right, barra's there. We've had a good walk round, looked in a couple of swims, haven't seen anything at all. In fact, it's quite, don't know, overcast, cloudy, very, very carpy out there. Very, very carpy, looks absolutely lovely, but I haven't seen anything. Walked around, went in a couple of swims, didn't see anything at all. So, look, there's all the weed I was talking about earlier. Let's have a look at that weed out there, look. Look at that. Look at all the weed. Now, that weed weren't there last time, was it? It's really come up in the last month, hasn't it? Where no one's been fishing it. They must be loving it. When they've had a good spawn, the weeds come up, they must be living their best life, mustn't they? Bless them. So we're back in the middle swim. A swim called the Pallets. Here we go, look, let me go back. Yeah, you can see it, look. There's that swim called the Pallets. Remember this from the last video? Where we had that common? This is the same swims. So I've done a walk round, had a good look, and I'm just going to go for middle for diddle again, I think. Middle for diddle, stay for tonight, get up early in the morning, see what we see if we can see any moving about, any fizzing. Maybe catch one, you never know, do you? But I think there's been quite a few on over the weekend, but I haven't heard of anything coming out. But then again, I haven't seen anyone apart from the bailiff. Right, I'm going to get the kit out, I'm going to get it settled. I'm going to see what them spots look like out there. They're bound to be a little bit different, I think. With all that weed, the spots might not even be there. I mean, look, you've got drifting weed now. It's drifting with a big weed bed out there drifting around. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different than it was a month ago, I think. But that's what it's all, I love it. Finding new spots, presenting a bit of bait, see what happens. Right, I'm going to get sorted, then we'll talk about spots and the rigs. See you in a minute. It's about 5:30. Got about 4 hours before it gets dark, 5 hours, 10 o'clock. It doesn't really get dark, so about 10:30 properly now, does it? It's about 4 or 5 hours, we're all sorted. Bivvy's up, down there, all the kit's in there. Rods are out. There's the rods. They're all out. Right, we've managed to find 2 new spots on the old spot in the margin. The one down there to the right, that was still clean, so we could get a rod on that, no problem at all. The other 2 spots, as I suspected, they're just covered in weed. I mean, look at the weed out there now. There was no weed before, and look at it now. It's just full of it, absolutely full of it, which is nice to see. I love fishing in weed, but the spots I was fishing before, they're just not there, covered in weed now. We've managed to find a couple of 2 new spots now. they're harder areas, they've got a bit of weed around them, but if you cast out and you don't pull back, you get a drop, you don't pull back, they're fishable with a pop-up. So rather than use a hinge stiffy, which I was using in the last trip, I still want a stiff pop-up section, but I want a supple boom section. So I've gone with the hinge stiffy part. I've used a stiff hook section and a braided boom section now. As again on a Paternoster helicopter LED setup, and little light. I love using little light LEDs because no one else uses them. So I doubt people actually use braid anymore. They're still going to be trying to find those real big clean areas, whereas I'm trying to find little harder areas within the weed. So I've got weed all around it out there, the 2 spots out there, one straight out, one at the left, so I've spread them out around the swim, and I'm angling. If I pull back with those rods, I'll go into weed. But if I just lift them up, blah, 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 bring them back, there's a tiny little slivering of weed over it, which, you know, won't hinder presentation when I cast out. So what I'm doing, I'll run you through what I'm doing tomorrow, basically, and the rig and everything else. I'll run it all through you tomorrow. Tonight I just want to get them out there, get sorted. But basically I'm swapping the boom section that I normally use for a braided section. That's all I'm doing really. So that braider just fall over any weed or any, you know, clumps of anything or any siltweed on the bottom. It's just going to drape over it rather than probably be sticking up with the hinge stiffy. Right, bait wise, I haven't put any bait out yet. Reason being, I know it was busy the weekend. You know, because obviously it's the first weekend back. So, oh, I didn't talk about my hook baits, did I? Right, the 2 in the weed, I've gone with 2 yellow because they show up quite well. I've gone with 2 yellow pop-ups on those, and the right-hand rod is a match the hatch. It's not gin clear. I'm looking in there, it's not gin clear, hence why I've gone with the 2 yellow ones, because they're going to stand out a bit more on the bottom, hopefully, in amongst that weed. I was going to go with white, but I just fancy yellow for a change. Not many people use yellow, do they, anymore? It's more white, pink, match the hatch. So right hand rod's match the hatch, the other 2 rods, middle and the left, are yellow, but glugged up the billio over months and months and months, all over the winter, glugged them up. So that's what we're doing with that. In regard to putting any freebies out, I'm in a bit 2 minds because, as I said, it's been busy the weekend, been quite a few people down because it's the first weekend, it's been open for a month. Not sure that anything was caught, maybe the one might have been caught, I'm not really too sure, but one thing's for sure, loads of bait would have gone out. So I'm in 2 minds what to do. I may just stick a 2 or 3 spoms over the top. That's what I may do just before dark, just to freshen it up out there. I'm not going to put anything out until then. I may put a spray of baits out there, but I remember from last time I was down, I was looking at introducing tiny little bits of particles and tiny little bits of crumb baits and all that, and the roach and rudd are just carnivorous. There's pound and half roach and rudd swimming about underneath my rod tips, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, they weren't here last time. So it's going to have to be big baits, 18s, 15s, dumbbells, tigers, big bits of maize. That's what I'm going to be introducing tonight. 2 or 3 spoms over each, not go mad, because as I said, busy the weekend just gone, and I'm presuming there would have been loads of bait going in. I'm going to let the fish tell me what to do. Right, I'm going to settle in now. I'm going to get the kettle on for that first cup of tea, and then just before dark, I reckon we'll touch base again to see what's happening, see if there's any updates. Right guys, see you in a while. Right, welcome back. Hour and a half, 2 hours before dark. Excuse me. We've sat there, not seen a lot, nothing's been happening, so I'm going to put a bit of bait out. We've had a nice cup of tea, we've had a nice dinner, nice bit of dinner we had earlier on, which was nice with the salad and everything else. Happy days, so we're all fueled up, ready to go. But we're going to put about, as I said before, 2 or 3 spoms, and this is what I'm using. I'm just going to show you. Have a look at this, look. This is the mix. Tigers. corn, maize, should I say, black tigers and normal tigers. Little mix there. And then we've got some 18mm boilies. And we've got some barrels as well. Got some big barrels to go out. And that's what we're going to put out on there. Let me just, that's it, that's better. Was all weird and not all in focus every minute. Right, that's the little mix we're going to put out. I'm going to spom out. I normally use a dot spom or something like that, but I'm going to use a big spom. I'm going to put that out. 3, 2, maybe 3, depends on how accurate I am. But yeah, onto the 3 spots. So I'm going to put loads out the first night. So I can't take it out, can we? Right, I'm going to get sorted, guys. I'm going to get them spoms out there. 3 of those with a mixture of those up. Relax for the evening, just before dark. See you soon. Guys, what a beautiful evening. Beautiful evening, beautiful Cambridgeshire evening. About half an hour before sunset. And I can't believe there's nobody else on the lake. How crazy is that? There's nobody else on the lake. I think a couple of guys have packed up. But yeah, there's no one. Sun's just about to go down. The lake's looking absolutely stupendous. Look at that, I'll give you a little tour. Look at that there, look. Looking very, very good it is. Very, very good. And I've seen a little bit of fizzing out on the spot. Straight out there, I've seen a bit of fizzing on the spot. Or around the spot, should I say. So we put out earlier on, about half an hour ago, I reckon. We put out about, I think, 3 spoms, and in the spom we put a mixture of tigers, black tigers, normal tigers, and some maize, some 20mm, sorry, 18mm, some, you know, some little big dumbbells as well on there. 3 spots on each. The right hand rod, the middle rod, and the left hand rod, which is over there. I'm not going to go mad, so we've done that. We've got those 3 lots of spoms out there, and about half an hour ago started seeing the fizzing around the area. I mean, it could be tench and roach and things like that. It could be yeah, but there's a lot of roach in there, a lot of rudd, a lot of pound and a half rudd, so it could be anything really, but all to play for. So I'm going to settle in, relax, watch the sun go down, get an early night, because I'm going to be up early in the morning to see where the fish are, because as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm probably going to move. Well, I may move, it all depends. If I see something, but I want to be able to see where the fish are. You know, I want to be able to look out here in the morning and go, oh look, it's 3 showed up the other end. Pack up sticks in the afternoon or in the morning and go down there and find some spots. But at the moment, it's trying to keep me here with that fizzing out there. Fingers crossed we might have one in the night or in the morning. Fingers crossed. First trip back after spawning. Never know. Right, kettle back on again. Chill out, relax, watch, listen, get to sleep. See you in the morning, guys. Right, guys, it's yeah, well after dark now, and I'm starting to hear the odd. What, did you hear that one? Sure, that was a fish then as well. Sure, that was a fish that's just poked its head out the other side of the weed that I'm fishing. I'm fishing that weed out there. I just heard a fish the other side where I was seeing a little bit of fizzing going on earlier. reckon we may be in with a chance. It's nice, it's about the 4th one I've heard now. So I'm well confident tonight. Whether anything will happen, we don't know, but at least I'm hearing them, at least I'm on the spots, and things are looking good. I'd rather hear them than not hear them at all, that's for certain. So we shall see by the morning what happens. I think we might be up early in the morning, as we always do, to see where the fish are, if they're still around. Hopefully you might have had one by then. Right, see you later. Night, hopefully I'll get woken up to a nice big scaly Woolpack banger. Good morning. What a beautiful morning it is. Let me just turn that down a little bit. It's a bit too bright there, isn't it? That's better, a bit darker. Yeah, see me properly. No fish, unfortunately. Not a lot happening. See a couple of fishes this morning around the area. So I'm a little bit surprised I didn't get a bite. There was definitely fish in the area, but very, very, very quiet. Still got one more night to go. I'm feeling confident. But I always feel confident. You've got to, haven't you? Got to feel confident. Need our first cup of coffee of the morning to get us up and ready. An hour after first light, I've been sitting up watching this morning. And as I say, a few fizzers, nothing last night. We've still got about 3 or 4 hours of bite time. What could be any time? Bite time in the summer, can't it? So, yeah, not a lot to report. The fish are about. I'm sort of half expecting to get a bite this morning or before I leave tomorrow, but it's really muggy, it's overcast, it's just looking really, really nice. Just looks very, very carpy indeed. Right, I'm gonna get sorted, I'm gonna get some breakfast on the go, nice cup of coffee, and then I think I'm gonna go through the rig and show you how I've changed things up a little bit because of the weed growth, how I've changed from a hinge stiffy to a bit more of a braided boom. Right, see you in a minute. Thought while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil for my morning cup of coffee, I'll take you through the setup, my rig setup, so you can have a bit of a closer look at what I'm doing. Nothing overly different to what I normally do, but pattern oyster, helicopters type setup, lead, little 2-ounce lead. I like lighter leads in the weed. I just find that everyone's using 3-ounce, 4-ounce, 5-ounce leads. If I go opposite to what everyone else is doing, then I'm outwitting those carp. They're not getting used to it. So I don't see a lot of people using light leads. About a 2 or 3 inch gap between the top bead and the buffer bead there. So even if it lands on something, it's still gonna be presentable. Rig wise, if you remember from the last vlog, we were using the hinge stiffies with quite a long boom, because there wasn't as much weed about. There's a lot more weed about now. So I'm using a clip system, so I can take on and off my my hook links, so I can change them really easily. So if I tied those hinge stiffies on to a ring swivel like I normally do, then I'd have to redo all the rods and everything else for this trip. But I haven't. I have been for quite some time, using the old quick change clips. Makes life so much easier. So it just clips on, as you can see there, it just clips on. I push the rubber up like so, and it's still all good to go. Right, so let's just take you through the rig very, very quickly. Now, if you look at the end bit there, the business end, this is stiff material, just like a chod. It's just the end bit of the chod or the hinge stiffy. It's exactly the same end bit there. And all I've done is I've just put quite a bit of putty on there to bang it down, so when that fish sucks it up, bang, it's not critically balanced or anything like that, so it wafts around. This is bang, it's on the bottom. So when that fish takes that in, sucks it up, bang, what it's trying to do is trying to hook itself already. Super sharp hooks that I've sharpened up, and about a 3 or 4 inch braided hook link, supple braided hook link, you see there. So basically all that is a chod or hinge stiff with a supple boom. Nothing groundbreaking, just looking at the terrain I'm fishing over, lots of weed, little spots within the weed, You know, this may change later on in the year as those spots become clearer. The more bait I put on them, or the more bait everyone's putting on them, we may go over to a bottom bait rig, you know, wafter rig. But for the time being, so I'm presented all the time, I'm using this braided supple boom. And what happens is, use a bit of foam it up, foam melts, and that just sinks down, and it's presented every single time. As long as that's popping up for a day, 2 days, I'm happy. So there you go, guys. I thought I'd just run you through it, how it's changed since our last vlog, our last trip, when we had that common. Yeah, I'm going to get this back out, and yeah, happy days. Let's see if we can catch one. Not a lot to report this afternoon. Not a lot been going on. A little bit of fizzing near the spots and that. So I've decided I'm not going to recast. I'm going to leave them out there. Those rods were out on the spots yesterday, and I saw fizzing, and I saw a couple of fish in the area, so I've got no reason to either top it up with more bait or to recast, because they are on the spot. It's worked for me a lot of times in the past on different lakes, just leaving those rods out there for 2 days. If it's on, this is the way I look at it, if I've cast that rod and I know 100% it's on the right spot, then why would I need to recast it again? Pop-up's going to stay up, or my bottom bait's going to be on the bottom. The rigs are working how they should be working. I've got no reason to reel them in and just put them back on the same spot again. I've got no reason to put any more bait out because I haven't caught one, and the bait's still bait out there. I may just top it up a little bit before dark. Might give it a couple of pouchfuls over each of some 20 mil, some 18 millers, but to be honest, I don't think I am. I think I'm going to leave it. So then you're going to have the 2 days worth of bait out there, you know, if it hasn't been eaten and if it hasn't been picked away by the bream and tench and rudd and that. So that's where we're at. What's the time now? Dinner time soon, 4:20. Got about another 5 hours before it gets dark. 10 o'clock gets dark properly, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a lovely spring, summer evening really, isn't it? Yeah, it's looking very, very nice. I'm very happy. Going into last night, seen fish in the area, seen fizzing, and it all looks good. It wouldn't surprise me if you had a bite, it really wouldn't. So all to play for. I'm going to relax, get the kettle on as you do, chill out, watch the water, and get some dinner on later. See you in a while, guys. Managed to sneak another one out, haven't we? What an absolute result. Always result these fish out of Woolpack. Everyone is hard earned, I can tell you. So let's get her up to show you. Lovely mirror this time. £32 1 ounce, and what an old battle scarred warrior this one is. Let's have a look at her. Pour a bit of water on her. Ooh. Nice scales all over it. Their tail and that. Just yeah, what a beautiful fish. Proper fight this morning. Just after first light. Look at this bad boy, look at that. Look at that, what a beast of a fish. Big old sloping shoulders, sloping head. Proper battle warrior this one. The size of that, look. Big old gut on it. Typical of your old Cambridgeshire warriors. God, absolutely made up with this one. Absolutely made up. Right, let's have a look at the other side. and then we'll get her back. A little bit more water. Ooh. Yeah, proper good take this was as well. So, get her up. Show ya. Whoa, look at that. Look at that, what a warrior. What's an old warrior, this one. I bet this can tell you a few stories, every scar on here. Look at that. 32-1. The campaign continues. Long may it continue. Whew. What a beast of a fish. Proper beast, look at that. Well, I'm going to get her back, get the rod back out, and a morning cup of coffee, I think. Good morning, and what a great morning it is. Oh, what an epic fish that is. Lovely mirror, and that mirror is an old original Woolpack Lakes 7 called No Name. I've just found out when I showed some of the photographs. Awesome to get an original underneath my belt as well. Absolutely buzzing with that, that's for certain. Yeah, pulled it out of the bag at the last minute before we got to go home in a couple of hours, and just like the first light this morning, that was off, that was away. So I'm made up with that, that's for certain. Looking good, it's still looking good. Wind's got up a little bit this morning. It's looking really good for another bite, even though I've got to go home. Don't want to go home, but I've got to go home. Work prevails, doesn't it? Yeah, so we're going to give it a little bit longer, but first, you know, as always, it's got to be Biscuit of the Week. Look at that. Welcome to another Biscuit of the Week, guys. And I really thought we weren't going to be able to do the old Biscuit of the Week this trip, this vlog. Be out of the bag just before we have to pack up and go home. We had that cracking fish this morning, so I'm absolutely made up with it. All the fish in here are lovely. They're all cracking fish in here, they really are. But I've got a bit of a... this is the last thing from my mind, was getting a pack of biscuits. So my old mate Dave has come to the rescue. I've had to run up the bank to him to be able to do this vlog's Biscuit of the Week. I've stolen some Co-op all butter shortbread fingers. Look at those, look. I've had to borrow these or steal these from poor old Dave, so he's got no biscuits at the moment and I've got them. Because the silverfish are not moving about as much, and they're not homing in like the perch and all that. They're not sort of on those squares that you get. Are the Carp ones any good? So let us try. They're going to be a bit cheaper than normal, aren't they? Are they up to standard? Let's have a taste. You know what? They don't taste any different to any other that they're living in and breeding in and feeding in. It's giving off all them food signals to any fish. Look, here he is, the old shortbread finger. Don't look no different to Sainsbury's or Tesco's or anyone's, does it? Look over that camera, look. Rig to get bites at any time of year. Tastes really, really good. I do love these. Shouldn't be eating these on my diet, but what the hell? We've had a fish. But the big test, isn't it? The big test is the dunkability. As per usual, I'll list everything down in the products on the description down below. Dunks it in, not moving. Oh, definitely one. Definitely one. Yorkshire tea, shortbread finger. Well, I've missed it. What are we going to need to be able to make this? So what are we going to need? So what components are we going to need? Guys, if you know how good these are, you know, don't you? how much I'm enjoying these. Alright, so guys, I'm going to have to go and give these back to Dave now, because if I keep me busy, I'm going to eat the whole. I mean, they are quite expensive, but they can be very effective. So shortbread fingers, there is your biscuit of the week. Guys, welcome back. Well, what a nice biscuit of the week that was. Bit of a fake biscuit of the week, really, wasn't it? When you come to think about it, schoolboy era, leaving me biscuits indoors. Remember to bring them next time, wouldn't I? So I had to go up to old Dave and nick some of his biscuits this morning, just so we could do a biscuit a week. Couldn't do a vlog without biscuit a week, could we? Well, not long now, probably another hour and a half before we got to pack up. Always a chance of another bite, but it's just absolutely perfect getting a bite this morning, just after the first light. And what a fish that is! That fish. That's an old original. I checked with the bailiff, I showed him a picture of it. It's a fish called No Name. It's like an old original Woolpack, 40 years old or something. Absolutely awesome. There's plenty of those old originals in here, so many more to go for over the next few months. So I hope you can join me for loads more vlogs on here. And we're doing well. I'm happy with the ones we've caught so far. So guys, I'm going to wrap up, get sorted, push the barrow home. And yeah, the trip back will be a lot more easier. That I'll have one, pull one out the bag at the last minute. So, hope you enjoyed the vlog, guys, and I'll see you for the next one.